What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is 50 predictions for WWE 2025. Now, there's a couple things that we need to kind of get out the way first. We'll talk about the background. If you're a viewer of this channel, you probably are like, this does not look like the little area that he records with a, couple background stuff. Now we actually have like a crazy big background that you actually see more in depth in a second because of this video idea. Second, let's talk about this video. We have 50 predictions. We'll actually break it down in a second. And it is a video I've been planning to do for a while. We're going to go down and kind of break down what's going on, because obviously you're looking at this like, what is this challenge that's going on? What does he mean, giving away whatever? So let's actually look how this works. We have 50 predictions, as you have already kind of seen. We have 42 regular predictions, like, for example, so-and-so will win a title, during 2025. But then we have 8 PLE predictions, which is like Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, something like that, where it's like a PLE certain kind of they're going to win, they're going to not. Then we're going to have some predictions that will differ on points, which this is the kind of fun part that I want to talk about, because this is a challenge. I want to kind of have some different ways to get points. It's not just like a prediction's a point. Most predictions on here are points, but then there's going to be some predictions that are, for example, so-and-so might win a title, and then my next prediction for it is they'll win it at this event. Something like that. It's going to be a little more deeper, and I'll get 2 points for it rather than just the one. But then, for example, for like Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble, because they're kind of closer, and I have a second person, the first person is going to get a point, the second person is going to be half a point. So it's kind of, I can still get some points. It's going to be a little bit easier because the goal is 30 points by the end of the year. That means I would get more than half of these correct, which I think that is a good possibility. But also at the same time, if I'm calling something that's going to happen at SummerSlam and I am on the dot with it, I deserve an extra point than just saying, someone's going to do something. That's pretty obvious. So I want to have that. And then, of course, if it doesn't happen, I'm willing to do a punishment one. And I'm going to give, $50 to $100 in Amazon gift cards, or maybe it's just straight up the money. Say 50 to 100 because a man like me might be a little broke. So we'll talk about when it's going to happen, how much money. It's probably going to be, I would guess, a year from now. Probably actually the exact end of 2025. We'll have to see. But I'm going to guess it's closer to $100 and then give it away to, video. I'll make some videos and we'll have some giveaways, whatever it might be. Maybe it's split up in a couple of videos. We'll see. But as you can see, and I said this for the background, obviously, all the predictions are going to be behind me all year. So in basically every video, there might not be, a couple videos here and there that I might be on vacation, might be in a different place. I got to record somewhere else that I usually wouldn't. Most of the time I will be in this room. And so we'll be recording, and you'll see, and we'll go to it in a second, all the predictions. Also want to say this starts December 16th. I'm recording this on the 15th. So it starts tomorrow, the day you're seeing this video. And yeah, so if a title or something changes, technically, which I don't think anything will. The only thing that I think is already starting that I already predicted, which kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie, because I swear on everything. I've been doing this video for like 2 weeks now. I was literally, it was probably like beginning of December. So it was right after Survivor Series, like around there. So kind of eliminates a lot of the Saturday Night Main Event stuff, which I'm happy I kind of waited a little bit, because I already expected, a lot of that to stay the same, but now it's really ramping up. We'll talk about that person when the prediction that I have in a second, but let me show you the background. First off, I'm going to look a little different because I had to flip my background or my camera a little bit so you can actually, oh my gosh, this is already tripping me out where I'm going one direction. It's not the actual direction. So, oh my God, as you can see, we have all the predictions here. I have it on a poster board. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to... Okay, wait. On a poster board for the whole year. And in each one, I think if you look a little close, there's a little circle. And I'll either mark it with an X or a check, or if it's completely wrong, maybe just scratch it out completely. So we're going to go through the whole entire year, where with most videos you'll be able to see the progression of what's going on. I'll probably have updates, whatever it might be. And yeah, there's 50 of them right there. It shows everything. Maybe some is kind of like small format rather than the whole sentence. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this video, and let's get started with the predictions. Let's start off with the predictions, and I also have to say, I'm not going to spend too much time on these predictions. There's 50 predictions. If I spend a minute on each prediction, that's a 50-minute video, and I don't think a lot of people are going to look on that type of video and click on it. They're going to be like, what is going on? So let's start off with my Royal Rumble winners. I am going to say Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble. I feel like there's a big chance it could be somebody else right now, but I believe that if John Cena's not the winner, I think Randy Orton should go after Cody Rhodes' title. It's really, I think, who's going to go after Cody that is going to win Royal Rumble. So I have Roman Reigns here. I think he's going to enter the Royal Rumble, so I expect him to probably push himself really far. And again, that would be half a point if Roman does win. If none of them don't, none of them don't. If none of them win, then it's no points at all, of course. So 1 for Randy, 0.5 for Roman. Women's, I think this is probably going to be for Rhea. I expected more that Rhea is going to get somebody to win. I have Bianca Belair. It's been Io Sky for me because I think Rhea and Liv are going to have their match, and Rhea's going to win. I think Bianca and Rhea might be actually the championship match that happens at Royal Rumble, because I've always thought it was going to be Io. They had a hint and everything. But the way she just lost to Liv Morgan, I don't think you could really create and make her the Royal Rumble winner. I don't think that's the chance. And I'd rather have a heel Io, and I don't know how we can heel Io this fast. But I am going to have her as my secondary, so at least maybe I get half a point. I'm doing this a little strategic. Elimination Chamber winners. So, of course, I'm thinking now this is going to be Gunther's title. My men's is going to be John Cena. John Cena is going to be at Elimination Chamber, his last Elimination Chamber. I'm going to guess he wins it. That's a good prediction. I feel good with that one. My secondary is CM Punk. I could see a way that maybe Punk gets himself with the favor enrolled in Elimination Chamber, and that's how the favor goes down, and he wins to go after Gunther. But maybe that's just not even a possibility as well. Winner for the women's side, I'm going Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte Flair is probably going to have a strong outing when she comes back. And if I had to predict something, which you're going to see later, Tiffany Stratton will probably have the title by now. I think Charlotte Flair will probably be the winner to go after her. And then I'm going to have Bianca Belair as well. When I'm looking at Tiffany Stratton or a Nia Jax, I'm trying to think who could actually dethrone them and who could actually have a good match against them. And I think Bianca, and I also think Nia Jax, or Bianca could have a good match with Nia Jax or Tiffany Stratton. Up next, we have the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring winners. Now, this is where we get to the 2 points, and then I think 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. I think something like that. Because this is really far ahead. This one is a shot in the dark. We're basically guessing who's going to win a tournament that's going to have, them going after somebody at SummerSlam. So I'm thinking more who's going to hit with the Saudi crowd. I have LA Knight because I think LA Knight is going to get a big push in 2025. And so I'm going to have LA Knight here for King of the Ring. It makes a lot of sense. Saudi, a lot of people love LA Knight. We've seen it before. I also have Braun Breaker. I think he's going to have a huge, huge push as well. And I could see a King of the Ring being a real outing to show his craziness and his real strength. Winner, I'm going to have Bianca Belair. It's kind of insurance just in case if Bianca and Rhea doesn't happen. I think Bianca could easily win the Queen of the Ring to go after Rhea for SummerSlam. A lot of these predictions I'm about to have are about to contradict each other, so just ignore it. And then I also have Raquel Rodriguez. I know it shows Rhea as well, but Raquel, I can see a way where they kind of really build Raquel and possibly go after Rhea Ripley. That is a shot in the dark. I really have no idea who could win Queen of the Ring right now, because you're probably looking at who can maybe go after Tiffany Stratton or a Charlotte Flair, and I don't feel like there's anyone right now, at all. Jade Cargill maybe, that's who I would say, but I think Bianca Belair is a better shout. Now we're with our Money in the Bank winners. We have 3 here. We're going to have 2 points, 1 point, then half a point. Winner for the men's, I'm going Bronson Reed. I think Bronson Reed is this close to becoming a main event kind of player and really in that mix. And I think Other than giving him a mid-card title, a Money in the Bank briefcase could really elevate him to that, and I could see that being the way where they really, grow Bronson Reed after some good feuds. Then I have Sami Zayn. Again, I think somebody that is just there and could really be in the main event kind of scene. I just wonder if it's more natural rather than the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then I have Jey Uso. I think the pop with Jey Uso, growing him to be the Money in the Bank holder, makes a lot of sense. I actually think Bronson Reed, saying that Bronson Reed's going to win, is a little bit of a dark horse, but it's whatever. Winner for women's, I'm going Naomi. I expect a big push. That's one of my predictions later on we'll talk about. Naomi, I think Money in the Bank briefcase kind of fits exactly what she would need, in the sense of something that could really just shoot her back up to the main event scene in the real, like, strong women's caliber that she used to be back in the day. I like it, and I like the Money in the Glow, or whatever she would say. Dakota Kai is another person that I don't know, because at the time of this recording, we don't know if she's won the IC title or not. I'm gonna guess her or Lyra Valkyria will. And I wonder if maybe she loses it before then, and then this is her way to really grow and get into the main event. But I still believe Dakota Kai is a good shout when you're looking at who can elevate off of the Money in the Bank briefcase. And then I have Jade Cargill as well, maybe when she comes back from injury. There's some good Money in the Bank briefcase. There's some good matches she could have, and the Money in the Bank briefcase is something to really elevate her to the next level, rather than getting maybe a mid-card title that a lot of people think that could happen. Up next, now we're in the real predictions, and we're going to start off with a big one. I think Dominic Mysterio will win one title throughout the year. I think it could be any title. It could be the US title. It could be not the tag teams. I'm talking singles gold. Let me say that. I think it could be Intercontinental. Maybe he is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. I think it would not be a shock to see Dominic Mysterio win Money in the Bank. But I want to say that I think it's more likely it's going to be the IC or the US title rather than not. Because I think when you're looking at Dominic Mysterio, he's there already. He has the heat. It's just win. Up next, we have Ricky Starks and Josh Alexander comes to WWE. Here's the thing. I think Ricky Starks is not a crazy shout to say they come to WWE. I don't think Ricky Starks is that crazy. Josh Alexander might be a little bit more, because I see Josh Alexander's kind of, even his finisher moveset kind of doesn't represent. I mean, his little finisher is literally banned in WWE. So I don't know if that happens, but I would guess that it's more than likely he does come to WWE. So I feel pretty good with this, but I want to package them both in because I think Ricky Starks is a given, so let me throw Josh Alexander as well. Joe Hendry shows up at the Royal Rumble. I think a lot of people expect this. I expect this as well. I think it's more of a shock that he doesn't at this time. I don't really know when his contract ends. I forget, but I'm expecting him to have a actual feud maybe on the main roster this time. During this year, but that's not one of my predictions. That's something I'm just going to mention in passing right now. John Cena, I expect him to become a Grand Slam champ in 2025 and win the 17th title. I probably should have said who retires John Cena or what's his last match. I'm expecting it to be Randy Orton. I think that is the last match. That could have been my 50th. I was struggling to find one more, and I think that's what could have been my 50th. Maybe I say 51. Let me know if you like a 51 predictions instead. John Cena, though, I think the Grand Slam and the 17th title are a given. So I want to package them together just in case if one wouldn't happen that I can't get the full point. I think that's very fair so that I don't give, 2 extra points just for free. LA Knight, I think he's getting a main title run as he's seen with the King of the Ring. I think he's going to get a SummerSlam chance and dethrone who he wants. And so I'm expecting LA Knight to be a main star in 2025, where they're now starting to market him as one of their main guys, like maybe a Gunther, for example. Up next, we have Chad Gable wins U.S. title. So I've been dying on this prediction for a long time now, where I think Chad Gable will win the U.S. title at some point in 2025. The minute I've seen him now on SmackDown, oh my god! If you've been a fan of this channel, I have been dying on a hill saying Chad Gable versus LA Knight for the US title needs to happen. And now maybe LA Knight's not really in the mix so far, but Chad Gable, I still expect to win the US title. He stayed with WWE for a reason. He's American made. It makes a ton of sense. Up next, we have Bianca and Rhea feud happens. I'm going to guess this is the match at SummerSlam, and that parentheses indicates that it's an incentive. So I think if it happens at SummerSlam, this match happens at SummerSlam, that's +2. +2. If the feud happens during 2025, or basically they are having like a feud, not maybe a match, then it's just +1. But I'm going to guess that they're going to pull the trigger and they're going to have these two women go against each other after Rhea and Liv's kind of story ends. Up next, we have Dominic Mysterio win over Cena. So I am expecting that Dominic Mysterio, someone, and I think there's going to be multiple, is going to get a win over Cena that's young, that's going to push him over the edge. And I'm going to say it's Dominic Mysterio. That is who I think is going to be the one. Now, is this a little bit of a hard prediction? I think so. I don't think it's 100% we see something like this. I think if anything, we see maybe Dominic lose to Cena. But I also want to predict maybe it is for the IC title. You know, John Cena needs that IC title. Maybe it's an open challenge and Dominic Mysterio wins it from Cena and really starts solidifying himself as a top guy. I could see it, and I'm getting that +2 if it happens. Up next, we have Carmelo Hayes over John Cena. So speaking of the same point, I think Carmelo Hayes is another guy that I could see Cena giving the Cena kind of rub to him and starting to really grow Carmelo Hayes. And I think he is an excellent heel that might work well to really push him over the edge. Up next, we have Drew McIntyre gets a title run. I think Drew McIntyre signed for a reason. I think he does deserve a title run in 2025. I predict so many title runs on here that a couple of them are bound not to happen. I feel decent with this one because I think Drew does deserve getting a title in 2025. He does. He's one of the best heels by far. Up next, we have Naomi is going to come out and be the one that injured Jade Cargill. I said this the minute Jade Cargill got injured, that I think Naomi was the one to do it. They're going to flip Naomi, make her heel. A lot of people think it could be Bianca. A lot of people think it could be Bayley. I think it's going to be crazy if it's Bianca. But I do believe that right now it's Naomi, and she's going to be the one that injured Jade Cargill and have probably a mini feud. And then later, maybe that becomes Jade versus Bianca because something, comes out where Naomi and Bianca had this in mind. I don't know. Something like that. Up next, Finn Balor, any title run. I think the push for 2025 Finn Balor, like rumors have said, is going to happen. I had this before the rumors came out, but I'm happy that this came out right around this time because I believe that Finn Balor is the most underrated and a huge, every wrestler fan will probably say this, one of the craziest stories where has all the chips invested in him and it all leaves in one go. One flip of a card at Vegas, it feels like. So I think Finn Balor will get a title run. Maybe it's an IC title. It should be a heavyweight title. But I don't think we know really for sure what's going to happen. Maybe he even goes to SmackDown and it's for the Universal title and he gets it back. Up next, we have Jey Uso gets another title reign. I don't think this is a crazy prediction. Jey Uso is such a big star. It makes sense for him to get another title reign. And I think they're not going to have the Usos in, tag team. I think they are going to push them both as single stars. Up next, Roxanne Perez goes to the main roster and gets a title. So I am expecting Roxanne Perez at some point in time, probably after she loses to Julia, I would guess get pushed to the main roster. And I'm going to say that in 2025, she is going to get a mid-card title. I think these mid-card titles is going to be the bridge that I think they needed a lot to really explore and to help this NXT talent. And so I'm going to say Roxanne Perez does get a title off of somebody in 2025 and is going to be able to really solidify herself as a good heel and honestly just a good superstar in WWE. Up next, Julia versus Stephanie Vaquera at Stand and Deliver in 2025. I feel really good with this one. I think they've hinted it enough. I think Julia will have the title entering Stand and Deliver. And then I think maybe they have both of them for a big match. This is their big match. This, out of all the matches they can have for Stand and Deliver, this is the biggest one. The only thing that could throw a wrench in this is that if Roxanne Perez is in this for a triple threat. But for now, I'm going to say it's the one-on-one. I think that's what they're going for, and I think that's what they would want. Up next, Obafemi. Now, this is a little weird one. I have kind of two. It's either or. I can't decide on which one, and I think it's more likely the first one, but let's talk about it. I think Obafemi is going to hold this title, NXT title, for at least 200 plus days, or he gets the US title. There's no in between. If he doesn't get anything close, if he's not even close to 200, if he's close to whatever, then I don't get the prediction. If Obafemi gets the NXT title, loses it, then goes main roster, and, is in a match for the US title, still don't get it. It has to either or happen. And I'm not going to BS on anything. Like, you got to be honest on this one. I think Trick and Carmelo are going to feud again. They talked about last year that maybe they explore this feud when both of them are on the main roster. I think they're going to talk about it a little bit, and I think it's going to happen again. I think we might see a match or two with them happening. Saying it happens in 2025 might be a little crazy. I could see it happening in later 2025. But I'm going to say I like the prediction for this match to happen again. Up next, Sheamus wins Grand Slam. I think this needs to happen. 100% needs to happen. It's just when and where. Maybe it's at the next Clash of the Castle. That might be in Ireland, for example. I don't know. I'm just yapping, picking somewhere random. I think Sheamus is going to become the Grand Slam. Now, I wonder if it happens during John Cena's reign, because it kind of be crazy that they both become Grand Slam champs during the same year. So this could not, be a good prediction. Like, this could literally, I know a lot of people might think this is an obvious prediction, but I could see this definitely happening later on in life, truthfully. Up next, CM Punk wins a main title. I think CM Punk is another player that is destined to win a title. It's just when and where. I would guess probably around WrestleMania. Should maybe win it here soon. But I think Punk is the one that's going to win a title here soon. I don't think that's crazy to say. This is more of a gimme point. Cody Rhodes loses title in 2025. I originally thought this was too obvious of an answer, and this was like crazy if I didn't predict this. Voice cracked. Didn't predict this. But the amount of people that I've seen saying that they think Cody Rhodes will still have this title by 2026, I'm like, dude, that's insane. I expect him to lose this probably at either WrestleMania if there's a way that they can protect him, or SummerSlam. I don't think there's really anything else crazier because it's Cody Rhodes, but I think there's, a good chance. And also I want to say, with this whole injury angle that they have right now, I think it's a better way if you could somehow make him vacate the title, and then, like how Rhea Ripley did, say, Cody Rhodes technically never lost his title. If there's a way that you could make him vacate it for whatever reason, I'm telling you, a lot of people will be behind him, and a lot of people will be with him for the chase again. I mean, it's the same thing that they would have again. Up next, Drew versus Cody or Drew versus Roman will happen this year. I think both of them could happen even potentially. And I'm going to say Roman is going to have a feud with Drew all the way to SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is where they have their match. If this is wrong, it's wrong. Originally, I just had Drew versus Cody, but I am liking a Drew versus Roman shout. I think that's another really good shout that I really like. But again, I could see both. 2 points for Roman if it happens at SummerSlam. If not, it doesn't. But Drew versus Cody I could see happening, somewhere else even. Up next, KO versus Sammy. I think they're going to have a feud. They kind of already hinted at it. I've been really dying on a hill that this is going to happen because Sammy has been such a babyface and KO has been incredible recently. So I want to see this feud happen again. Braun Breaker retires Goldberg. This isn't crazy to me. I think Gunther is the favorite right now. But when you're looking at somebody that is the modern day Goldberg, in my opinion, it is almost like Braun Breaker. So I'm going to say Braun Breaker retires Goldberg and really pushes him over rather than Gunther. Up next, New Bloodline wins singles gold. Originally, I had Solo Sikoa because I think they would not give Jacob Fatu singles gold before Solo Sikoa. But I'm going to say both of them. I'm going to say like one or the other. I think that's fair to say because I love Jacob Fatu. I literally have like a poster right here of Jacob Fatu. But I think that Solo Sikoa is probably going to be the one to win it. And I think a lot of people are going to be shocked when he wins it over like a Jacob Fatu. Street Profits break up. This one is a hard prediction. I originally did not have this prediction on here. I added it because I think the Street Profits are kind of, just a great tag team. Like, understandably, a great tag team. But I think they both have, solo singles runs in them. And the way to do it is if you break them up for some reason. And is this the year they do it? I don't know, but I'm going to predict it. Jade versus Bianca starts after SummerSlam. So, first off, let me make sure I didn't skip something. Jade versus Bianca starts. I think that this feud will happen, but I think it's going to be a long, long story. And I think that it's mainly going to happen after SummerSlam. That's what my thought process, because I think it's going to be Bianca versus Rhea. And then they have their feud right after. That's what my guess is. But again, if it starts, it starts. If it happens, it happens. And I still got the start, correct? But I think that it'll probably happen more closer to after SummerSlam is what I would guess. That's what I would imagine. Becky versus Liv Morgan. I think Becky and Liv are going to have their feud again. I would not be shocked if this is a WrestleMania match, if you want to be honest with you. But I think they're going to feud because I think there's something that's going to be needed for Liv Morgan, and I think there's going to be something needed for Becky Lynch. Makes a lot of sense to kind of throw them both together. Randy gets a main title. I think it could be off of Cody Rhodes. I could see a way that maybe he jumps to Raw later on in the year, gets it. Maybe it's off of John Cena after his 17th title. I could see it like that. Whatever it might be, I think Randy's going to get it this year. I believe in that. I believe Randy should get it this year. Jimmy Uso gets a singles push. This is the one that I was talking about that I had a prediction for it, and it started to already happen. I think they're going to push Jimmy Uso to the singles kind of realm. It'd be kind of crazy if Drew is his first competitor if this is true. But I think Jimmy Uso is going to get a singles push, like how Jay got a singles push. I think he has all the charisma to do it. I think he might not be as high and big as Jey Uso at first, but I do believe that Jimmy Uso in the future will get, up there with Jey Uso, and he does deserve a singles push. Up next, we have the New Day win tag titles. I'm expecting this New Day to win tag titles, whatever it might be. This was the one prediction that I last minute threw in that I wish I could have done with John Cena's last match, actually. But I am expecting the New Day to have a kind of, feels like a new creation maybe, because I think, like, not a new creation, a revival of them, because I think this New Day with the heels is going to sell and is going to be great, and they're going to build off of it with some tag titles. Up next, I do expect The Rock to show up for WrestleMania 41. I'd honestly be so shocked if he doesn't. But I am expecting, and I think the real teller of this is going to be Netflix. If he doesn't show up for that Netflix debut or the Royal Rumble, we might be cooked. Truthfully, we might be cooked. But for now, I'm going to say The Rock does show up for WrestleMania 41. Up next, we have Naomi starts to get a push. I kind of talked about this earlier. I think they're going to go with a heel Naomi and then really build off of this story with her. Or maybe just a I'm on my own kind of Naomi. And I believe that they're going to push her to the moon. I hope they do, because Naomi has all the talent in the world, and Naomi is somebody that does deserve to get pushed. Rhea title won't surpass SummerSlam. So I'm going to guess Rhea will get the title either in the Netflix episode, or we'll get the we'll get at Royal Rumble. But I don't expect it to pass SummerSlam. I don't expect this Rhea Ripley title run to be huge. I can see it ending at WrestleMania, another PLE. I just don't expect it to surpass SummerSlam at all. Whoever she goes against at SummerSlam, if she has the title, should win it, and that's what I'm expecting right now. Up next, Jordan Grace joins WWE. My first and 2 point prediction is that it's going to be NXT at first and then go to the main roster. I feel confident with this one, especially after the most recent feud with somebody I'm not even going to talk about. Up next, we have Tiffany Stratton cashes in before WrestleMania 41. I think now we're kind of in this weird area where people think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Is Tiffany Stratton going to cash in really and save it to WrestleMania? I don't think so. I think it's going to happen somehow. If it happens at Netflix debut, that would be insane. I think it could happen at Royal Rumble if it's Charlotte versus, Nia Jax. Could happen with something else. I think Tiffany Stratton, though, will cash in and will, maybe it is even just like Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I just think it should be before, and I'm going to say it's before. I don't think they should hold it all the way to WrestleMania, in my opinion. Up next, Becky Lynch wins title. I expect this probably to be the mid-card title. And that's not me getting a 2 point prediction right here. That is me literally thinking I think it's only the mid-card title. I would be shocked if it's a main title. I truthfully think it's a mid-card title, so then someone else can beat her and really get some rep off of it. But I'm expecting Becky Lynch, maybe of Lyra Valkyria, to have like kind of maybe mini feud. Up next, Jordan Grace WWE title in 2025. I expect her to probably get a mid-card title, just how Roxanne Perez might. I also expect maybe it's the U.S. title from Chelsea Green. I would love... Oh, I just hit my whole setup. I would love a way that Jordan Grace could join NXT for a little bit, then maybe Chelsea Green's still holding on the title. Then all of a sudden, Jordan Grace comes up and she goes against Chelsea Green and really shows her strength and dominance and gets the U.S. title. I would love that. I would expect that to maybe really show out, to really show a Jordan Grace. But I'm expecting a WWE title. Maybe it's even the NXT title. But maybe it's not the U.S. title. Up next, Michin starts to get a push. I expect Michin to probably get a push after really showing off for Saturday night's main event. I think Triple H likes her. I think a lot of people love Michin and the way she's kind of like a workhorse. And I want her to start getting a push. I think it's destined to happen. And I feel the only way I feel like not as confident for this one is if they decide, you know what, Michin's still going to be the same old Michin. We're just going to throw her in when we need her. And she doesn't get a true push that we would kind of hope for. Up next, Ludwig versus Gunther starts. I expect this feud to start happening. Maybe it's not a full-on breakup, but I think that this feud is going to happen. And I expect them to drop hints of them fully breaking up. And it's going to kind of start to kind of form, and maybe this is a bigger PLE match. Up next, Chelsea Green keeps the title for 100 plus days. I think a lot of people expect Chelsea Green to almost lose this title immediately. I've seen so many people saying, oh, she's probably going to lose it in 3 weeks. Oh, she's probably going to lose it in the next, Elimination Chamber. I'm going to say she holds on to it till at least WrestleMania, which is 104 days when I was doing the video. But now I guess it's like 102, 101. Something like that. Chelsea Green, I expect keeping the title for 100 plus days and maybe lose that at WrestleMania. Up next, Austin Theory face push actually happens. I think it's going to happen before WrestleMania 41 for the extra plus. I don't know. I just think that this was obviously going to happen, but then it got paused for some reason. I think the pause was because they're wanting to extend this for WrestleMania 41 and then actually have a match there. And if that is the case, then I'm saying that the face turn is going to happen before, and then the match happens at WrestleMania 41. That is the prediction for me right here. Up next, and this is actually the last one. Oh my gosh, 50 predictions that fast? 25 minutes, yikes. Logan Paul isn't done with wrestling. I don't think Logan Paul is done with wrestling. I know he said he's retired. I think he's still coming back. Could be for WrestleMania, could be for SummerSlam, could be for another event. Probably Royal Rumble. That's where I really think it's going to happen. I just don't think he's done. I don't think he can just shine away from, WWE after saying he wants to come back all this time. It's either or at the end of the day. You either want to come back or you don't. I expect him to come back, and I think it's kind of a smokescreen for him saying he's retired. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. You're going to see me updating this list throughout the whole year if you subscribe. And if I don't, join back for the whole giveaway and maybe updates with me, maybe doing mini giveaways during this. We'll have to see. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Bye.